Greetings, gamers. Hoser here for Hoser House Rules. We're actually already in the beginning of July, but I wanted to post a introduction slash postmortem to the fantasy campaign, which took place a while back and we haven't posted yet because it was such a fiasco. First of all, I didn't do any strategic movement. It was all 6 armies on a 3x4 foot table board, and it only lasted 2 days. We are missing the middle third of the footage, and it was also a terrible fiasco because Tim, with all his evil armies, destroyed all the good armies, and maybe Tim's getting a DBA, but I prefer to think that it's because he was using my lucky dice and no more lucky dice for Tim. Anyway, here comes the fantasy campaign post. Hope you enjoy it. We'll try to put in some pictures, some eye candy pictures, if we can splice them in. And we'll be back next week with big Napoleonic campaign. All right, enjoy. Greetings, gamers. Welcome back to Hoser House Rules. This is Hoser for the Lockdown Solitaire Fantasy Campaign. Now, I was going to have a map campaign with armies moving across different provinces, but I decided to make it simple, and it's just going to be everything on the table, a 3x4 table with all 6 armies on it. There are 3 invading armies and 3 defending armies, and it's a free-for-all. So let me introduce you to the armies. Over here, we have the Norman Stronghold and their army. 1 knights, 3 spears, 1 bows, and 2 light infantry, which count as 1 unit. Going around the table, across from them, we have the Vikings. There's their camp. They don't have a stronghold, they have a camp. The invaders have a camp at this point. And there is their army already making contact with one of the built up areas. They have blades, bows, 2 light infantry. And as you can see, there are 6 built up areas in the center of the table, all being defended by your basic European rabble, medieval peasant rabble. They're all independent. There are 6 built up areas at the center of the table, towards the center of the table, and they are independent, so they have to be conquered. Going around the table, we have the Dwarven Stronghold and the Dwarven army just marching out. They have blades, bows, and 2 light infantry. And on this corner, we have the Goblin camp. The Goblins are moving pretty quickly. They're already in contact with this built-up area, about to attack it. And the remainder of the Goblin army is moving towards the hill. On the other corner, we have the Elven Stronghold, with the Elven army moving out. They have Auxilia, 2 Auxilia, 2 bows, 2 light infantry, and 1 light cavalry. And they'll be trying to take this built-up area first. And finally, we have the Lizardman army. Here's their camp. And they're moving quickly, but not as quickly as the Goblins, towards this built-up area in the middle, defended by medieval rabble, and hopefully to take that hill across from the dwarves. So we have the Vikings across from the Normans, the Lizardmen across from the dwarves, and the elves across from the goblins. This is turn 3. The invaders got 2 free moves, so they've moved 3 turns. And the defenders, the Normans, the dwarves, and the elves are just marching out of their strongholds. So every day there's going to be production at the beginning of each day after the second day. You get 1 production point for each camp that you have and 1 production point for each built up area that you control. So it's going to be crucial not to get your army destroyed, but it's also going to be crucial to capture the 6 built up areas in the middle of the table. Good luck to the peasant rabble, and we'll come back in a few turns, maybe halfway through the day. I'm thinking I'm doing maybe 16-ish turns per day. That should be plenty. Once there's a battle fought, a loser retreats to their camp or stronghold, and the winner cannot advance more than 6 inches, so they'll be pretty much done for the day. Okay, coming back after some developments in the campaign. Okay, welcome back. We are on day 2, turn 10. As of turn 10, the Vikings have slaughtered the Normans, which have retreated to their stronghold because they only rolled 2s for melee. And in the center, the Lizardmen and Vikings are pushing back the dwarves, which are holding in the center, but not for long because they need to retreat to their stronghold fairly soon or it might get overrun. And on the right, we have some goblins have overrun 2 built up areas, and the elves are retreating to the stronghold because they rolled only 2s for melee. Okay, we'll go back at the end of turn 2. At the end of day 2. Okay, end of day 2, turn 16. The Vikings have driven back the Normans, which just have 2 units left in their stronghold. The Vikings and the Lizardmen are driving back the dwarves, which just have a few units left. And the goblins have driven back the elves, which just have 3 stands left to their stronghold. We will see you with day 3. Back in a bit. Alright, so that is the end of the fantasy campaign. The good guys have been driven back to their strongholds and will be eventually crushed or sieged to death. That is because I rolled nothing but 2s in melee. Tell them that's right, Tim.
That's right.
Yeah, and the bad guys have overrun the world, just like possibly coronavirus. And so endeth the fantasy solo shutdown campaign. We'll be back with other stuff next time. Keep gaming.